Hi, everyone. Here we are getting ready for our today's episode of Disruptive Conversations, Instagram Live. And for anyone who has had a dream and they thought, well, I need to do it now, or they're going to have problems doing it, or they're not going to be able to get back to their dream, we have Kate McLeod today to help talk us through all of this, what it means to have a dream, to hold on to your dream. And as I say, even if it can't happen now doesn't mean never. So hold on to your dreams. We're waiting for Kate to come on. And if you haven't followed me, remember, I'm dropping information all the time to be of support to you, to help you on your journey. And I would love for you to be able to really avail yourself of that information. So if you haven't followed me yet, please do follow me so that you can be up to date with all these different ways that you can move forward, move towards what success means to you, move towards your personal success, your personal sense of satisfaction, certainly during times of stress and disruption, to be able to move forward with your dream and to be able to get yourself back into connection. I have Nature Connecting sent me a request to join, but I'm waiting for Kate to come on. Kate, I'm looking for you to come on, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there shortly. So this is all, it's all happening, and I'm seeing all Dax is on. Thanks, Dax, for joining. And if you know anyone who has wanted to follow a dream, who may need to watch this, let them know that this is happening now, and give them a heads up for it. We're waiting for Kate to join. Leela, thanks for coming on. Valerie, Hannah, I'm so sorry. I'm probably mispronouncing a whole lot of the names. Thanks so much for coming on. And we're just waiting for Kate to come on board. Very excited to have her on today. And let's see, sometimes these things. Oh, thanks so much, Valerie, Hannah. Thanks so much. Great to see you too. P. Fitty, thanks so much for being on. Okay, Girl Drive, here we go. I see Girl Drive has requested to join. She's, okay, I don't know why she's not joining. Girl Drive, I see you. You need to request to, I see you as coming on. But I don't see you yet as asking to go live. Scroll up. Okay. Go live. Okay. Go live. Let's see. This may buffer for a moment. And I saw the request to join, but I'm giving her the request to go live on the video. Let's see how that works. We're going to try this one more time. Okay, I just gave her the ability to go live. Okay, I'm trying this again. Go live. Here we go. Okay. I keep adding, I see requests to join, but not requests to go live. So Carly, let's see if you can do, I saw Girl Driver USA. I see requests. Here we go. Okay, we're waiting for for the buffer. Somehow it says girl that she's unable to join. So P. Fitty, thanks so much for the wave. Great to see you here. And the question also for us is, how do we, I see two coming on. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. I'm going to go back to Girl Drive USA, request join, go live. Okay. So we're here. I gave her, here we go. I knew this would happen. This is the moment. This is the buffering. And here we are. I'm so thrilled to have you. Kate, just say hi, and then I'm going to introduce the show.
Hi, and thank you for waiting for my little whatever happened. I don't know.
You know what? Instagram Live, a lot of these tech things have their, special gremlins. So here we are. So I'm going to introduce the show, and then we're going to go from here. So everyone, welcome. So happy to see you here. Remember, I saved a seat for you. Your seat's happening right now. So everyone, welcome to Disruptive Conversations with entrepreneurs, influencers, thought leaders, educators, authors, librettists, musical, musical writers, and in which we deep dive into the experiences these women have needed to navigate and conquer in order to achieve the personal and professional success they have at this point in time. I'm Dr. Risa Reiger, clinical psychologist, and I am an expert in change. I help people make positive change at any point. And the good news is that we are built for change. But in order to make positive change, you need to disrupt. You need to disrupt a thought, a feeling, a belief, a behavior in order to create your 10.0 life, live in your 10.0 self. And that's what this series of conversations is all about. And today, our guest is Kate McLeod. And Kate is so accomplished. I'm going to read a little bit. This is what happens with my guests, that they are so accomplished. I cannot remember everything that they've done, so I have to cheat off of the bio, which is my pleasure. So Kate is a playwright, lyricist, librettist, author, and her plays have been performed and produced in New York at EST, Looking Glass, Midtown Festival, and North Festival. She was a finalist at the Secret Theater's One Act Festival, and Kate is a collaborator. How great to have collaboration with Megan Cavallari. I'm hoping apologies if I mispronounced, but I think I did okay. And they're working on a musical called, wait for this, I Heart My Car, the musical. Of course, Kate, the question, but it's not going to be our next question. This title begs the question of what is this about? And so today, Kate has very valiantly agreed to join us, navigating and conquering the obstacles of Instagram Live in order to be here with us and to share her wisdom and experience. So Kate, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. And first off, what is it that I have, obviously there isn't everything in the bio that people need to know, but if there's something that you would like to share that I haven't mentioned in your bio, please go ahead and do that with us now.
Well, my excuse me, my journey as a playwright has encompassed any number of amazing teachers. And I think one of the things I would say is that I wouldn't be able to do what I do as a writer without having the influences of all of those teachers. It's been incredible. I've been very lucky to find the right people, and they have really helped me so much to be being a playwright is different than being a novelist. You are dealing with dialogue and action. That's it. You don't have narrative. And so I would attribute all of the learning I have done with different teachers to that.
So the first takeaway for our community, and our communities which have an opportunity to join and be together here, is that we don't have to do things on our own. We don't have to do things alone. And we really, you can't. You can't do it all by yourself in an isolated fashion. And what's important to note here is that having help, learning, getting teachers, having people speak into what you do isn't from not being enough or being inadequate or just not being good enough. It's really the space of committing to being the best of what you want to be and what you want to achieve. What do you think about that?
I think that you get up every day as a writer and you think about that. How can I be better today than I was yesterday? Go back and look at a certain thing that you're struggling with. When you talk about that, it's being in the theater is a collaborative effort. You are always with other people, and they are always informing your work. That's the beauty of it. You start with your page, your blank page, which can be difficult. And then you're moving on and you have a reading and the actors come in and they bring it to life. And then you have a production and you have a director and a dramaturg and a set design and lighting. And it's all a collaboration. It's like and then you have the audience.
Yes.
And they are so important to you. So I think that you certainly can't be in the theater alone.
Yes. So Kate, also, what is it, you, as you're saying, you've been on many roads and many paths,
Yeah.
and what is it that you needed to disrupt inside of yourself to be where you are today? Pick one, because there may be many, but whatever, as you wish to share.
I needed to believe that I was good enough.
Oh.
Yeah. It's big, Am I good enough to write an article for a newspaper? Am I good enough to write a book? Is this going to go? Am I good enough to write a play? And you have to overcome the feeling that you're not good enough.
Mm.
It's true. I mean, writers always have difficulty with that. They're always struggling with the next word, but you that is something that I have always struggled with.
Yeah. And so if there's something, pardon me.
Is that a good answer?
Oh, it's a great answer. Being good enough. Am I ready? Do I know enough yet? Am I at my spot of enough?
Yeah.
Right. Maybe there's like a little bit more that I need to know. Maybe I need to wait until ...
Yeah.
for me to start. So if there's something that you could share of what might have been helpful that someone else could really benefit from hearing, because there isn't, even when you go to even when you go to college or grad school or take a course or whatever and you finish, you're not really finished.
No.
So was there something that you can think of that was helpful or was helpful to just help you get kind of over that, whatever needed, whatever, get over that barrier to give it a try?
I think I might have told myself, what do I have to lose?
Okay.
I could always I can get rejected. you know, but you live with rejection as a theater person. So what do I have to lose? So I'm going to try to write an article.
Yes. Yes. You know, someone, as you were saying this, someone commented and wrote down amazing that, and for for many people, you know, and for everyone, we all have our moments of doubts.
Yeah.
You know, we all have our we all have our moments of doubts. And I think that sometimes what happens is that we take that doubt and we can internalize it in, well, I don't know enough, or whatever other beliefs, you know, that we've heard about ourselves over time and in different ways. And that to turn that doubt into either, you know, as you were saying, what have I got to lose?
Mm-hmm.
And also into like, this is my space of growth. I'm giving myself the grace of growth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just so incredibly helpful. And could you tell us about, you know, could you talk to us a little bit, and me, and would love to hear about I Heart My Car, the musical, and how that became your dream, and what's evolved with that.
Well, I covered the auto industry for 20 years as a reporter. And I wrote these four monologues, these four women who who really have really, really bad cars, you know, and they needed them. So I have to have the want in anything, but in a musical, it's a thing. And I asked for a colleague of mine if he would put some music to it, and it was performed years ago. And then everybody responded well to it and said, oh, you have to make this longer. So that began the process of writing I Heart My Car, the musical. And it's four women who are trapped in an auto repair shop on the edge of a town on Cape Cod.
Okay.
They're desperate for their cars. And Anastas, who is the genius mechanic and Romanian with a green card, is not letting these cars out of the shop because they're so bad. And then he has a pal, Dennis, who was an MIT engineer who blew the whistle on his big engineering firm, and he's out of a job. So that it's the six of them in this rundown auto repair shop, and they all have big wants, and they're all desperately trying to move on with their lives, and they're stuck.
Yeah. Well, I can't personally. I want to get in advance the date that this is going on. This play is going on. I can't wait to hear and see this. And also, you know, you're saying that you were covering cars, automobiles, as a journalist 20 years ago. That made, I think, I would say that you know, covering automobiles, covering cars as a woman journalist was not the traditional route. So could you, you know, fill us in on that?
So um, there weren't a lot of women in the field. There was an amazing woman who pretty much was the forward person. Her name was Denise McLeod. And Denise covered the auto industry. She was pretty much the only woman, but she sort of opened the gates for all of us. And then I had an opportunity to be around a lot of automotive engineers and CEOs and executives. And I thought, well, I could never write about cars because I didn't grow up with grease under my fingernails. And then someone said, okay. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll try to write a car story. So I called an editor at a newspaper in upstate New York, as far away from the big time as I could get. And I pitched him on a story. And he said yes. So I wrote my first car review, and it took me 3 weeks. And I asked a really authoritative person to look at it and comment on it, and that person said, "Send it in." So then I adopted the Girl Driver USA. So that's my handle. And I wrote about the thing about writing about the auto industry, it covers everything. It's business, it's engineering, it's safety, it's comfort, it's design, so you could write about anything. And I did. I did interviews with people, and it was fascinating. It's a really interesting industry. So, yeah.
What I'm hearing is that you had this opportunity come up that was just out of left field, and that you were able to think about it in all of these unique ways versus just thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't know what engine torque is, and so therefore I can't write about this. I don't know what the difference of spark plugs is at this moment in time, so I really need to back off from it. But what I'm hearing is that your curiosity,
Yeah.
and you didn't shut yourself down or shut yourself off
Right.
as at the get-go and saying, oh, no, 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 cars, what do I know about cars? No. But that you left yourself a space of openness to get interested, get curious, and think about all of these parameters about cars, which no people wouldn't really think about being a car reviewer or writer would think about.
Yeah, I did do that. I'll have to admit that I jumped. I really took a leap, and it worked out. It really worked out. And then after that, I always sat with the smartest people. So I would just listen to their conversations and then eventually participate. But you always hang with the smartest people.
Well, weren't you smart to know to go hang with the smartest people?
Yeah.
Versus I think sometimes, right? Do you think that sometimes people get intimidated by sitting with the smartest people?
Yes. Yes, but if you sit quietly at the table and you don't say anything and you listen to everything they're saying and you take notes, then you really learn a lot. And then eventually I was able to participate in the conversations, because I had opinions. But it's a lot to learn. It's very complex, the auto industry, but um, I guess I kind of know how to learn.
Huh. Well, your curiosity fuels that.
Yes, yes, and it keeps going. And I'm still learning every day. So I think that's really important. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
You know what? Because sometimes people feel uncomfortable just sitting and being a listener
Hmm.
versus I got to get my comment in. People need to know that I know something, and instead of going into that spot of feeling uncomfortable as a beginner or as a novice or a non-expert.
I think you've hit a really important aspect, and that is to be able to listen. And you, as a writer, you have to be able to listen because that's how you get voices, and that's how you get character, and that's how you get information and all kinds of things. And I think it's very hard for people now because of what's happened with technology to just sit and listen.
Hmm.
It's become harder, but it's ever so much more important because we don't want to lose that connection. I think that's really important.
you were a car writer,
Mhm.
journalist, and what was that bridge that went from writing about cars to a
Oh,
musical?
yeah.
Oh yeah, that one.
I have a background in theater. I have a
Okay.
MF in acting from Catholic University,
Oh,
and
okay.
and so I came to New York, and I was living in a sixth floor walk up on East Third Street, across from the Hells Angels, with a broken window all winter, and I realized I had to do something to I had to make money, and um, so I told myself I was getting a divorce from theater, and I went into publishing, and I worked in publishing. But I um, I had a dream in 1997. I had cut this article. In those days, we cut articles out of the Times, and I had cut this article out about four men living in a halfway house in Troy, New York. And I could not get it out of my box and into the wastebasket. It just kept going back into my inbox. And then I had a dream about these four men, and it was on a proscenium stage, and I knew who they were, and I knew that Katrina Tekakwitha, the patron saint of alcoholics, was there, but I didn't know how it ended. So I woke up that morning and I said, oh, I don't know how to write a play. I'm an actor, you know. So I went to playwriting 101 at the New School,
Uh-huh.
and I started writing my first play. Yeah, yeah.
I'm so happy I asked you this to hear this story about how your dream came to
Yeah,
be, and how we need to, you know, we're talking about listening, right? You were talking about listening and listening to others, and how important it is to listen and to hear ourselves.
pay attention. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one thing that I can't say enough about is that, we all have such a sense of immediacy, right? We want it now. We want it to happen now. We want to make it happen now. And that you held on to this dream. You held on to this little article, right? You had your dream, which is incredible, and that you remember and you can go back to it. I mean, the birth story of this musical is really quite extraordinary, and you should tell this story. By the way, you should keep telling this story about your play, because it's just so interesting and so important in terms of what it means to be a human being and hold on to what's precious for us inside. Uh, this is just great. And but that you didn't let go, that not now doesn't mean not
No,
ever.
no. I didn't know I could write lyrics until 2008. I had no idea. And I was in a group, and we were asked to respond to something. And I wrote lyrics. I didn't know I could do that. And now we have a full
Yeah.
musical. And yeah, and and that's another whole skill, writing lyrics for a musical. It's different. You have to have certain things in place. And fortunately, my amazing collaborator Megan Cavallari has done it before, and she brought me along too. Yeah,
Yes.
great.
So, as I promised you, Kate, and I'm a woman who really tries to, live up to her promises, this half hour has gone very quickly.
Oh,
And once we got through the tech piece of it, it's been so smooth sailing. And I want to absolutely thank you so much for sharing your story, and really, really helping people understand that the things that are really tender for you and important for you, that you don't have to let them go. They don't have to go into the what we call the circular file, the wastebasket. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. And it's always going to be a stretch. What you haven't done will always be a stretch.
Yes.
Always. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in this space, and for last question before we take our photo shoot for the posting is, what's your next disruption?
My next disruption is I have been thinking about this for a while, but I believe that we need to create a piece of theater that gives the people who don't have skin in the game an understanding of what veterans and their families sacrifice for. And so I have collaborated. I did a retreat with three people. The songwriter Ron Capps has done 3 tours and worked for the Foreign Service. Paul Sullivan works for a law firm that helps veterans. And Leilani was in the military. She was a military family, and she has a writing group. So we got together, and we're trying to figure out how to make theater that tells the story of the veterans and what they sacrifice and their families.
I'm also glad I asked that question, because this is such important information. Kate, I'm going to ask you to make one promise to me. And that promise is to please keep me updated on the status of these 2 very important pieces of work. Can you make that promise?
I promise you I will.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. So everyone, I know that you're coming away with just renewed faith and in your dream, and a commitment to not let go. Don't let it slip through your fingers. If it's your dream, it has importance to you. Don't let it slip through your fingers so quickly. And we'll be back on Disruptive Conversations next week. Remember, I've saved a seat for you. And also remember, and never forget, that positive change can happen at any point. And now Kate and we may do a hair flip, we may not, it depends, but we're going to get ready for our shot. You ready, Kate?
I am ready.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm so glad you came on and made the leap and made the trust.
Thank you.
Okay. Here we go. One more. To be continued. Thanks again.